Welcome back, everybody. Yes, that is a maple tree tap bag, and a few people have been asking if it's the maple syrup season time, and yes, every spring. We've been tapping trees for close to 2 weeks now, and I just happened to catch one of my cohorts in the act. Here is Moss Squatch, and we've got the low-tech sap catcher on this tree because we ran out of bags, right?
Ran out of bags, yeah.
But that one was just about full this evening now, right?
Yep.
So we'll go back to this one. This one looks like it has a little bit in it.
These warm days, it keeps dripping even after we dump them at night. So
yeah.
by morning, we've got it frozen.
Because it's been, that one looks like it's got a pretty good amount in there.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what comes out. I bet there's close to a gallon in that one, I think.
Look how fast it's still dripping.
Yeah. It's really coming out of there. So, and it's been taking until, I would say, early afternoon for the sap to start running every day.
Yeah, it gets so cold at night now.
And it'll continue running here, I'd say, well after dark before it finally locks back up and quits. So we'll just continue making the rounds, and I think how many taps do we have out? 16?
We've got 20.
Oh, 20 out.
Yeah,
so we got a few more to check. Yeah, this one looks like it did fairly well today too.
Now this has been a pretty good tree this year.
Hang on just a second. I thought I saw a drip coming down. I think this bag is leaking. I can see a hole in it. Yep, it's dripping off the bottom. So this is one that we are going to have to replace. Sometimes that happens because the wind blows them against the bark. And
yeah, we've had so much wind.
yeah, it's about right. It's about right in this area here.
Yeah, looks like a little puncture.
So yeah, and the way that's dripping right now, that would have had a lot more in it than what it did. But sometimes that happens. That's how we find the bad ones.
It's small enough. It might not be coming out that hard.
It'll probably collect what's it'll collect what's gonna probably come out tonight, but by tomorrow we'll have to put a new one on. These two trees look about equal for sap. Running good out of this one yet. Maybe a little bit more in that one. I'd say we got close to 2.5 gallons just from these two.
Yeah, it hasn't been taking too many trees to fill them up.
Say we're a touch over 3 gallons now with that one. Yeah, look at it. It's just almost steady coming out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. They've really taken off.
Here's another one of our milk jugs that's called in for emergency service. The key is to dump it out and not put the hole down, otherwise you lose a bunch. But it makes a really good air vent for emptying them out if you put it on top. Nice clear stuff too.
It is real pretty. Now we've been averaging 12 to 15 gallons the last several days.
Yesterday was 24.
That was morning and evening.
We're just collecting evening today because they were pretty much frozen solid and locked up this morning. Caught up with Senior now. He's making the rounds on the other end of the property, and this clump looks like it's doing pretty good.
Oh yeah.
This another milk jug. That one's looking pretty good. The one over here is looking pretty good.
Yeah, we're getting close to the spigots.
Yep. The 2 bags are looking pretty good.
Things are really dripping.
Yeah, the trees that we've hit so far are too. Like this one over here.
Yeah, this morning these bags were so solid.
I think it took the trees until what, 2 p.m. today to really start running?
Yeah, and we've got this much since then. Plus a little bit last night.
That's what I mentioned about trying to make sure you get that drain hole over the bucket before you start dumping.
Yep. If you tip it up just right, it vents.
Yeah, I showed them that on one of the other trees. I didn't tip it up just right just now.
I'm gonna go empty this bucket.
Yep.
Empty the other one.
And I'll put back here.
And the last bag, finally got Squatch involved in this.
I'm usually just the cameraman.
Yeah. We'll go out and do a final measurement and show what we got for tonight.
So here's Senior's measuring system. He has this bucket. It's rather transparent. You can see through it. And he has gallon marks on the side of it. And that's how we keep track of. Looks like that's 2 gallons. See on the other side, we've got the, yep, right at the 2. That's how we keep track of everything that we collect in a day. So this is the last bit from today right here, right?
Yep.
I'd say you're about a gallon, maybe a little strong.
Yeah, we'll figure a gallon. It's close enough.
So this is what we collected today right here then.
Yep, so we got 5, 10, 15, there's 19, 21, 23 gallons today.
Okay, so we did 24 yesterday
Yeah.
between morning and evening, and we just did it evening today and 20. Okay, so about the same.
Yep.
And we surpassed 100 gallons last night, right?
Yeah, we had 105 last night, so we're
close to 130-ish right now, and your goal was kind of 100, right, for the year?
well, I'm looking at 4 batches of 35 gallons each.
Okay,
So
because that's a good size to render
this is
down.
batch 4, so we haven't got much left to get.
Yeah, so you figured maybe one more day of collecting,
Yeah.
and we'd be about through with
That'll give
that.
us probably 4.5 gallons of syrup, maybe a little more, which is great, plenty.
That's a lot of syrup, about a 2-year supply.
And we got one here. This one's got to be finished.
But this is what's
35.
boiled down from a 35-gallon
Yep,
batch.
that's what we have left from 35 gallons.
Yep.
right
So
there.
what we have maybe 2 gallons.
Yeah, about 2 gallons. So
And
it's going to take another 3/4 of a gallon, maybe. It's getting close anyway.
It's starting to look good.
And this is batch 2. We've already got one batch processed. This is batch 3 out of 35 gallons.
These
This is,
buckets right here.
that's 15 gallons
And
so
that's
far.
a lot lighter too.
Yeah, a
That
lot
needs-
of boiling to do.
Yep.
And we have 20 gallons left. That'll be batch 3. So batch 2, batch 3, and batch 4.
All right.
That'll be our last of the batches.
So we've got our work cut out for us yet.
Going on. I'm running out of buckets.
All right, now for the boiling phase. So we've got 2 cookers set up here, and this one you can tell is pretty clear yet. So that's try not to fog the camera lens. That's some pretty light stuff.
That's the first 5 gallons. And those 5 gallons, that's just starting to cook.
Okay, of the next 35-gallon batch.
Yeah.
So on the other side here, second cooker, this is all that's left of the current 35-gallon batch, correct?
That would be batch 2.
And it is quite thick. It's getting a lot darker. And you mentioned that you can tell when it thickens up because the bubbles start getting bigger, right?
The bubbles are bigger
Yeah.
when it boils. And you have to watch it constantly.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
We're
all of a
at-
sudden it's going to
We're at the
boil
tipping
over.
point right now. Yep.
All of a sudden it'll boil over.
Trying to make syrup and not sugar. So, and you made these guards for wind. Keep the wind off the burners,
Everything
right?
here is shielded for wind.
Yep, it just channels more heat into the pot instead of blowing it away. So that's what we're doing. So after this one over here boils down a bit more, you'll just keep topping it up, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you can see where the line used to be further up on the pan here. So
And this is all that's left of 35 gallons.
yep, that's what I mentioned. It all renders down to about that point right there.
It
So
smells really sweet.
yeah, it's starting to smell like syrup now. So we'll keep monitoring these back here. Bring you all back when this one pretty much gets ready, when it gets right down to the end. And this first one needs a topping up. That should reduce the boil.
Yeah, you can see
Somewhat.
how clear that is in there.
Yeah, like water.
when you start.
Yeah, just like water, completely transparent.
And that turns dark like that.
So yeah, that stopped the boil a little bit till that heats up,
Oh,
gets
yeah.
going, because that was cold. But yeah, goes from clear, quite dark. All right, so that darker batch is finished boiling, right? We basically have syrup right now. So now it's time to strain the impurities out of it. So You got a little bit left to pour in there.
Left.
That's just a straining cloth that's going through, and you know there's some cloudy substance that's left over after the boiling process. This takes that out. Any other impurities, it just kind of strains it, cleans it out.
It's about the third time that we've strained.
Okay, you get every last drop too, because it takes a lot to
Yeah.
make it, right?
And you strain when it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fluid. It's a lot. It flows better. Yeah. As it cools
You
down,
can
it will
see
thicken up a little bit.
It's thicker. Oh,
Yeah, it's good stuff though. So that's going to take a few minutes to go through that cloth, which is a good thing. It's that's how it removes all the stuff you don't want. So another step of the process down. And we're back outside again, and Senior is you're doing the final rounds as far as sap collection, right?
Had enough?
You had enough.
Yeah.
We're done. We're done. So
Had enough.
yeah, it's still running, but you're pulling taps and you're plugging holes now, right?
Yep.
Wrapping up the process.
My trusty hammer out here I found on the road one day.
Yeah, it's got a pink handle, but it's an excellent tapping hammer
Yeah,
for
I
trees.
just keep it with this.
So pulls
I
the
got
tap
better.
out.
I got better ones.
Yep. Pulls the tap out, so that leaves an open hole in the trunk.
Now I'm not sure if this is what you should really do or not, but I like to plug the holes.
So you got a wooden dowel there.
That's a birch dowel.
Yep. That just drives in, seals that hole. There, it sounds solid.
Yep. I drill 7/16 hole for the tap.
Mm-hmm.
I put a 1/2 inch rod.
Okay, so you get a good interference fit there
Yep.
then. And then,
You can see how it's squeezing out in the already
oh yeah, yep.
in the grade.
Then he just cuts it off rather flush.
Yeah, and that'll and after that should swell up a little more yet when it gets moisture in there.
Yep.
I'll just kind of round the end off a little bit.
And that allows the tree to heal a lot faster, right?
There, good enough.
Yep. And come back next year, you'll work pretty hard to even see where that used to be.
I'm not sure if plugging's necessary. I like to do it. I hate to see the sap run down.
Yeah, I think it's better for the tree as well.
Oh,
Keeps
we'll
everything out of the wood and everything else. So, yeah, we're kind of showing the whole process here, from pulling it from the tree to boiling it down to now we plug the tree. I think we just need to get it in the jars and can it, and I think that's about the last step. So,
7 left to go. I'm gonna keep going.
oh, you got 7 left to plug then.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. All right, so it's the next day and we finished boiling down that 35-gallon batch. That one is done. It is officially syrup at this point. So now we're putting it in the jars, and I'll let you take over from here.
Okay. I've boiled the jars for a good 15 minutes. And I'll just take one out at a time. We do this process just one at a time.
Keep the rest of them nice and hot.
Yep, the rest have to stay hot.
So jar goes on a pot holder,
Yep,
a
got
little
it.
funnel.
Funnel.
All right.
Now this, I used a candy thermometer. The syrup is at 185.
Okay, so nice and hot.
Yes.
So hot syrup, hot jar. Mm-hmm. That's the key.
Yes, it is. Yep. Syrup is different from canning other things because it's not processed after the jars are filled. Anything else that you can, you have
Pretty
to.
good.
Any other food that you can, you have to do a process in either a boiling water bath or pressure canner to seal it. But with syrup,
Making sure there's nothing sticky on the
yeah,
top of the jar.
yep, the top of the jar needs to be clean.
We need to have the lid seal well,
And,
and then dry it back off, I suppose.
yep, just to make sure.
So you got to be super fussy here, just like when you're cleaning tractor parts.
For sure. I have a magnet on the end of this little wand.
And those are the lids,
The
nice
lids are
and hot.
hot.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So a lid with a ring.
Snug it down really nice. Now, with syrup, bring it over here and just turn it upside down.
Okay.
That keeps the heat in close to the lid,
Yep.
and it cools slowly. And then I just kind of give them a blanket.
Okay. Kind of keeps the heat in there a little bit.
Keeps the heat in there, and it gives the jar time to seal.
So now we just repeat the process for the
Repeat it,
next,
yeah.
and just keep going until we're out of syrup.
Until we're out of syrup.
So second jar.
And those can cool all night. I won't touch those again until morning.
And the slow cool will eventually let that lid seal, and it's just like you've canned it, but you didn't have to go through the same canning procedure.
Yeah, because the syrup's,
So syrup is a bit easier than canning vegetables.
oh yeah.
All right, well, you all know what the deal is here. We'll just keep the assembly line rolling, see how much we end up getting here. And it is the next day. So what do we have here? For syrup. This is the whole batch, and this was from the 35 gallons of sap initially, right?
10 pints.
All right, 10 of them.
Oh.
And
Oh, it's sealed.
yes, that is some nice looking stuff.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
All right. So we have another 2 batches to go then.
We do. Yep.
All right, well, that's the process start to finish. Looking good.
Yeah, these are all sealed. There's a little button in the middle of that lid that pulls down. You can kind of see kind of an outline on the outside edge of it. Yeah, they're all pulled down.
10 for 10.
Yep, we did it.
All right. And that's where we had the tap in this one. So from tree to table, nature will provide. I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope to see you all back again.